What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to another episode of the Bathurst Challenge. Now, if you're like me, there's a couple of cars that you would definitely love to see do a lap around Bathurst. Today's car is not one of mine. Now, if you're new here and you don't know what the Bathurst Challenge is, it's very straightforward. We get a car, we do 10 laps around Bathurst, the fastest lap gets up on a leaderboard, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. That's about as far as it gets. So if you have a car that you would like to suggest for the Bathurst Challenge, leave me a comment below. This is definitely not my first pick, but massive shout out to Mr. Camry for the suggestion. This is a Toyota Camry. Now, I know there's a lot of people that might be in the same boat as Camry and you want to see a Camry rip a lap around Bathurst. So let's just get ahead and do it. I have no idea how well this is going to do. Obviously, this is not a car designed to take tight turns at high speeds, but I'm sure we're going to work it out and see how well the Toyota Camry actually does whilst tackling Bathurst. So here we are in Assetto Corsa in the Toyota Camry. Now, like I said at the start, this is definitely not a car that's designed to be doing super high-speed turns around a racetrack, but I mean, a lot of the cars that we've done so far haven't been, and they've done a lot better than we thought they would. So the Camry may even surprise us today. Now, in true fashion, we're going to jump in the car and do an out lap, see how the car handles and brakes and takes off. I don't really have hugely high expectations, but we'll give it its out lap, see what it's like to drive, and then I'm going to knuckle in and get some hot laps done before we get a time up on the leaderboard. So let's just see how she goes. Alrighty, here we go. Inside, let's just take off and see how she looks. Okay, I mean, look, she's not the fastest thing in the world, but she does okay. She's not doing too bad at the moment. We're at 150 kilometers, 180 kilometers by the time we start braking just after this 100-meter board. Let's get her back down into second. Tuck her in. Okay. God, that second gear is very short. Really, really short. All right, we're at 150 kilometers an hour, heading into the first turn. 100, we might even hit 200. My God, 200 Ks. Oh shit, we need to stop. Oh God, oh God. Oh God. I was too worried about getting it as fast as I could, and I didn't really think too hard about stopping the bloody thing. Okay, 140 Ks. I want to see how quick we can get this car before we start going up the mountain here at the end of this straight. I mean, I'm pretty impressed already that it's at 200 kilometers in fourth gear. I did not think it was going to get that quick. We're at 220. I'm going to get this bloody needle to go all the way around the speedo in a minute. Sixth gear, 240. Let's start braking now because it was pretty hard to stop for the first turn. Oh God, still too fast. The turning on this is not the best at all. Let's head up the mountain now. 150 kilometers an hour. It's doing a hell of a lot better than I thought it would. Let's see how it goes getting through the cutting here, because it turns like it's an offshore fishing vessel. Oh God. I cannot believe how short that second gear is. Crazy. You just run out of room straight away. Alright, they were sitting around the 150. Every single time I look back down at the speedo to see what speed we're doing, it's about 150 Ks, so it's doing pretty well. I'm kind of impressed, to be honest. I thought this was going to be slower than a lot of the cars that we chose. God, the understeer is nuts. There is just little to no downforce for this car. There's just understeers to all high heaven. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm going to have to wrestle this down through the S's. Let's tuck it in. We'll get on the brakes a little bit earlier. Oh my gosh. Oh, really just pushing the limits of these revs at the moment. Down to second. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. This is going to be a very, very tough hot lap session at Bathurst. This thing is just... I cannot get over how short those gears are. Maybe I need to just keep them in a higher gear for longer, but I'm kind of surprised by how quickly you're hitting the limiter in second gear, to be honest. Okay, let's see how fast we can get on the straight here. We're at 260 kilometers here in fifth gear. We still have a whole other gear to go. Like the speedo won't show how fast we're going. Are we still climbing? I have absolutely no idea. So far, it looks like we're doing about 280 Ks an hour in a bloody Toyota Camry. Camry, what sort of suggestion have you made here, my friend? Okay, alrighty then. So, to stop a Toyota Camry from 300 kilometers an hour, turns out that's not the easiest feat in the world. So, okay, take some notes. We'll put that into effect in the hot laps, but I think we're going to jump in, see how quick we can actually get this car. So far, it looks like a pretty good lap. We might actually have a good lap time here. So I'm going to jump in, get 10 laps done, and I will come back with my fastest lap, and let's just see how we can go. So here we go, fastest lap in the Toyota Camry, ready to absolutely annihilate this Bathurst lap time with this weapon of a car. Heading underneath the start-finish line now, ready to tackle turn 1 for our fastest lap. Gonna start braking at the 100-meter board. Hopefully can slow this car down from the immense speeds that it's carrying with this chassis. Going around turn 1 now, feeding it out to the right-hand side. Slightly going off a little bit, tire in the dirt, but we're trying to keep as much momentum as we can. Heading down the first straight into Griffin's Bend. Let's see how quick this Toyota Camry can go. It just looks like it should not be on the track. It doesn't look like a car that should be whipping around Bathurst, but it is, and that's the most important part of this hot lap. Now going underneath the Audi Sport sign, ready to head up to Griffin's Bend, seeing how fast we can actually get it. We're going to start braking at the 100-meter board, dropping it down into third gear, holding it to that right-hand side, and really relying on the camber, slightly losing the rear there, but not too much. There's not that much speed in the Camry at the moment, heading up the hill to really worry about losing that much traction. Now going in towards the cutting, we're going to hold to the right-hand side, same deal, go into the left, really try and hug these corners as much as we can to get the much speed as we can. Heading up the cutting now into second gear, trying to keep it nice and close to that wall. Not a huge amount of speed heading up the mountain now. It's very interesting to see how quick this lap is going to be because it doesn't have that much cornering speed or top speed in general. Heading up to the skyline area now of the track, past the Swillman's Park sign, seeing how much power we can flick out of this car. Heading down into the S's, we want to really get as much speed as we can without losing any stability or traction on the car, because that's where we're going to lose a lot of time. Heading into the skyline area now, the rear of the car is starting to slide out a little bit, but not too bad, nothing we can't handle. Underneath the 7 News sign now, getting on the brakes early, trying to get as much speed scrubbed off as we can to keep the car as stable as we can. Now heading down through the S's into the dipper. Let's see how quick we can get the dipper nice and tight to the left-hand side wall there. Lost it a little bit, got a little bit squirrely trying to get back on the power, but nothing too unmanageable. Now heading into the Forest Elbow, sideways going into Forest Elbow, drop down into second, try and go as far out as we can to that Bentley sign, push now it's time as we get as much speed as we can out of the Toyota Camry, absolutely ripping past this camera, not quite as fast as I would hope, but it's doing pretty well. Going underneath the Amarok sign now, heading towards the chase. Let's see how quick this Toyota Camry can actually go. I mean, I'm hoping we can get a little bit more speed out of it and really finish this hot lap really well, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it has a huge amount of pace now. Going through the chase, starting to get on the brakes at the 150-meter board to drop it as much as we can. Heading into the left-hand turn now, holding it through that curb, going around to this next right-hand side before we go through the Liquid Molly sign into the final corner of Bathurst. Going underneath the Liquid Molly sign now, really foot to the floor, trying to get as much power out of this car as we absolutely can. Braking at the 100-meter board, dropping it down to second gear, holding it to the left and feeding it out to the right-hand side, trying to get as much power as we can out of this car. Underneath the start-finish line now through the Liquid Molly sign, and there it is, the fastest lap in the Toyota Camry. Absolutely nailed it. So there you go, fastest car in the Toyota Camry, sitting at a 249.696, which is about 1.5 seconds slower than the Brabus Smart. I did not expect this to be that close to the Smart car, but part of me thought it was going to be faster than the Smart car. Also, the dashboard in the car with this mod is completely broken. There is no way this car even got remotely close to 300 kilometers an hour. The top speed sat at 224 Ks, which is still pretty impressive for a Camry, but I was very deceived in the outlap, and it became very obvious during the hot laps that the speeds was so wrong. It was hard to tell during the first outlap, but in the hot laps, it became very evident. So sitting at a 249.6, this is where it shows up on our leaderboard. Like I said, 1.5 seconds slower than the Smart car, but still a respectable lap underneath 3 minutes, which is not too bad out of the Toyota Camry. Thank you again to Chef Camsey for the suggestion of this car. If you guys have a car you would like to see do the Bathurst challenge, leave me a comment below. If there's a mod for it, we'll do it. It's pretty straightforward. If you like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe. I post new videos every week, and you don't want to miss them. If you want to come and see some live racing, we stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll leave all the links in the description. If you want to come and join us on any of our social media, I'll leave all the links in the description below. We have a great bunch of people. I'd love to have you there. Other than that, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. I hope you had a good morning. I hope you have a good night. Bye.